Hi, this is Bill, the Tactical Accountant. Welcome to my channel. This video is an overview of common lock mechanisms of pocket knives, although I neglected to include my shark lock of the Andrew Demptor 8020.5, which is strong and fidget friendly, for a future video. Talking about knife locking mechanisms, and that's important because if a knife doesn't stay open, then it could close on your fingers. And these are very common in things like the original pocket knives, multi-tool Swiss Army knives, because if you're using this and you're pushing something and not downward, it could actually come down on you. So if you push and it snags and it comes down, your fingers are only partially stopping it and your bones kind of stop it, and that doesn't work while you have finger food. So I would say they're okay, very limited. You understand its limitations, pay attention. Other ones that have an improved version of it, this was an old one, I don't know how many years ago, how many decades or hundreds of years that the Japanese made this. Picked this up when I was in Japan, Tokyo, and what I liked about it is that your thumb will rest on it. And again, a very inexpensive knife. You can get it for, I think, on online sellers here in Canada, what, 25, 35 Canadian. It was a lot less in Japan, probably about, 10 Canadian. Okay, I like it. It's a very sharp steel. This one is the non-stainless version, so keep it clean, keep it dry. But because your thumb is here, as long as you have your thumb, you're not gonna have it come back on you because you can tell that it's starting to move. Oh, I gotta go, lock it. So again, it's an improved version, it's a little bit safer. Then you get some Spanish designs where, again, you hear the click, that's locked in. It is not coming down on your finger too easily. And then you close it by lifting this little tab up. Okay, have the bigger version, has multi-stops, so you could, for some reason, if you so choose, you could lock it here. I'm not sure why you would. Leave in the comments. I'm curious if you have one and this is how you use your knife. Okay, maybe with a flashlight pointed at, no, let's not go there. Okay, let's just say that's thing. I showed you open out closing mechanism. Again, okay, it will come down on your fingers unless you turn it, and if you turn it, it locks it from going forward. Okay, so a ring closure. Now into something a little bit modern and a little bit, I would think, safer for people who aren't as careful possibly. Chris Reese came up with a Sabenza design. It's a frame lock. I think they call it the Reese Integral lock. I'm sure someone's got the full name on it, but it's got a part of the frame of the knife itself, and you have to push it over to close the knife. So with that, your thumb goes in, your finger pushes it, and then you would just bring it down without cutting yourself too badly. Actually, it's really good, feels very sturdy, okay? And it is a very sturdy lock for most people's purposes. Obviously, the thicker the metal here, the stronger it's gonna be, and the lockup should be about halfway through the blade bar. So where the blade is, it comes into this frame, and usually about half, maybe 60%, but not a full. But it's gonna be somewhere between the 40 and the 60 range, and that's a decent lockup. And okay, if you tap it, it doesn't come back. Good tap. I would do it with leather gloves or those fishing gloves where it's metal mesh, like chainmail. The Cricket Columbia River knife and tool. I think I call them Cricket. I think a lot of people do. I don't know if that's the official saying for it, or did we say Columbia River knife and tool? But nice, lightweight, relatively inexpensive, again in that 30 to 40 Canadian range. I think it was 40, right? So you do the same thing, you push your thumb across, and you close it that way. Some of these Carson designed clippers for CKRT or CRKT, sorry, has a additional safety button here. So it's supposed to give a little bit more sturdiness in terms of not slipping, but this one never failed. And what would you use this size of knife for? Again, it's a nice utility knife, opening up boxes from Amazon. Okay, very lightweight, what, 3 ounces. So moderately, I think the 3.5 ounce range is pretty reasonable for amount of pocket weight. Okay. Okay, a little bit less on this one here, but you see it has a keychain adapter or clipper to a bag, but frame lock again. Okay, so frame locks come in different versions, and of course the classic leak that I showed you earlier, another frame lock. Okay, so I would say it's a durable enough lock mechanism. Okay, it's hard to find. I haven't found too many poor quality the Chris Reeves lock system, which is called frame lock, and sometimes you even get them in a fanciful color. I find that very non-threatening when you bring this out. They think it's more of a novelty for some reason. Maybe I should try some different colors. I saw one that was blue. I like blue. Maybe I'll get a blue one. Okay, I wouldn't. The steel they advertise is average. I think it was a 440. So it's like, well, a 440C. And another one I saw was for like a 7CR Chinese steel. It's okay, rust resistant. So if you like not to have rust, it's okay. But you got to sharpen more often. And speaking of sharpening, people get really caught on knife steels. Carry a 1 ounce or half ounce sharpening steel. Throw that in your backpack if you're really worried on long trips. Okay, cost like $15 on Amazon for these things. Very handy. Okay, so we'll get into that later. So we have the frame locks. More modern invention. Oh no, we get to another older one. 60 years ago, they came up with something called back lock. I heard, maybe longer. And the back lock would be, which one is a back lock? We got the improved back locks. I'm looking for my Cara 2. It's got a back lock, so you press it here, sometimes it's somewhere along this area on the back end of the handle. It's got a back lock. It's really hard to disengage. I mean, a good quality one will not disengage if you're holding it. And yeah, fairly sturdy. It's a decent mechanism. What they found was that they were able to make an improved version. So Cold Steel came up with an improved back lock, and what they did here was they put a pin, and that pin in here makes it a lot more strong and self-adjusting. So over time, you have these ones here where you flick it open that much, and it starts to grind away the metal on metal contact. With this Cold Steel Triad version of a back lock, it's still far improved, and it is way stronger. Tests have proven this time and time again that this is about the strongest lock out there. There's a couple of challengers from their own company and maybe one other, but these are, when I bring one that says I need to go out and I'm gonna go on a hike, I'm going somewhere where I need a super strong knife, but I'm not carrying a fixed blade, I'm not as worried when I bring out my SR1 Cold Steel knife, which I have on the table. Okay, this lock is another prime example of it, but it's even thicker steel, thicker lock, thicker bar, and that makes it something that I've seen in testing that, yeah, do I need to carry my Mora knife anymore? No, it's just another piece. I could get by with just one. And maybe if I have a backup knife, I will carry something even lighter, like a bug out, but this could replace my 4-inch fixed blade. It is that durable. I have enough confidence in that because of this lock mechanism, thickness of the steel, overall design. So, and 70, fits in your pocket. That's why it's my go-to for if I'm going to have a survival type knife. This is my survival pocket knife. Okay, so that is the back lock. I do like the fact that these ones here have the wave opening, very handy. But there is a wave option for these ones here. I have it in my other vehicle, and I will show that near the end. Okay, so you can have them wave open. There's a few other versions that do wave open, but that feature is important. Next along that is a liner lock. The liner lock is similar to a frame lock in which the frame or the handle creates the overall rigidity of the knife, but there is a little metal strip inside, and that you push over to the side and it locks up. Okay, many good quality knives are made this way, and I find that I like that way. This one's a very slicey shape. I find that pretty handy. But that lock mechanism is very much like a frame lock in application, but it uses plastic on the outside or polymers or some other metal, but it has a liner inside, and that's what makes it
lock up. And again, like the frame lock, it's about 40% to somewhere at the half range, and it gives you solid lock up. Some knives, if you're going to check for them, make sure they look sturdy enough and thick enough so that it can support weight against the blade so it doesn't come back and close on your fingers instead of on this metal. Frame lock is all metal, okay, and as such has a very solid amount of metal to stop the blade from coming down. Okay, this one here is a large version. Hope you can see the contrast between that liner. It's a very thick liner, almost as thick as the blade, it seems. Not quite from the back end, but from the edge part, yes, it is quite substantial. And again, roughly at 60%, so good solid amount of stop on it. For a normal light to medium duty use, it will be sufficient. Okay, I would say that the only heavy duty knife I have on here would be the Coast Steel ones, okay, with the triad lock, and even this one here with this lock mechanism is probably more sturdy than any of the other ones I have. I have one with a compression lock from Spyderco. What this allows you to do is to push it with your finger on the back end of the knife. There is a little lever that you push your finger in, and then your knife can open up. You can then open it with your thumb as well, but you could just open it with the pressure of this lever, okay? But it locks it up pretty sturdy, and you just have to push this little part here to close it. So that little back is like a reverse back lock, okay? Reverse liner lock, I don't know. Normal liner lock's on the inside, but this pushes to the back side. So a back liner lock, don't know the fancy term, but they call that compression lock. Okay, another one that came out in the last more recent times is, I would say, Benchmade came up with the concept of a crossbar. So this little part here, it allows you to bring it down with your finger to unlock it, or your thumb. So I can unlock it with my finger by pulling on this side, or with my thumb on this side. So it makes it very ambidextrous. Doesn't matter which side you want to use it on, which pocket you use it on, because you put your left hand side, then if you like to use your thumb, it's your thumb. If you want to use your finger, it's your finger. But it doesn't matter which side, it's very ambidextrous. I do find that because it's low profile, it's very nice for summer, spring, fall. Once it's winter with gloves on, yeah, I find it difficult. Okay, when it comes to that part of it, there's other ones that are similar. This is a very fast assisted opening one from SOG. I like a lot of their knives, they're fun. They've gotten better ones in the last decade, so I've liked that. But it's a crossbar. You pull it down, unless you can see the little knob here, but it's not ambidextrous. It's only on one side. Okay, boy, it does open up fast. Comes in a flipper tab, which I would have preferred, but hey, still a very nice knife. Okay, you pull this down with your thumb and you close it. You do have a safety here, so you put it in your pocket and you can have it open. You put it down, you switch this little lever, click, and it's not going to accidentally open up. You just gotta remember to slide across if you want to use it. Comes with a seatbelt cutter, so it's for those who want a decent quality knife, but you don't want to accidentally open when you don't have to, or maybe kids are around and you don't want them to accidentally open it. Okay, so very nice opening and closing mechanisms here. I think I cover off most of the closing ones. I like fixed blades because they come in, and closing them, you need two hands, you gotta look, otherwise bad things happen to your body parts. So please look at them, okay? And that covers off the closing mechanisms.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you want to see. Stay sharp and see you next time.